welcome to the Everyone Active podcasts. I'm one of your hosts, Jo.
Hello, I'm your other host, Michelle. How are you?
Really good.
Enjoying the sunshine?
I think my answer is always going to be really good.
Actually, I think it always is.
I'm like, yeah, really good.
We're just happy, aren't we?
Yeah, even things like we fully are human. Things get tough at sometimes,
They
but
do.
I still choose to take do you know what? We'll get through it. Let's go. I'm good.
100% agree.
Woohoo.
What have you been up to?
Oh, what have we been up to?
You've been involved in lots of these U Plus webinars I've been seeing.
Yes.
So that's really exciting.
Very
How's
exciting.
it going?
Really good. Really, really good. It's really interesting now because we're really starting to see the data back from... We can't see individual data,
Yeah.
but as a whole, like the collective of what pillars of wellness people need to, work towards, work on. And we've got a big one coming back is recovery, which is one of your field.
one
And
of mine.
actually, even our lovely guests today
Now,
field.
we're very cosy again because we do have a guest again today.
Hey.
A returning character.
Yes. Welcome. Lovely.
Thank you.
Alistair.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Nice to have you back. How are you?
I'm very well. Yeah, I'm like yourself, a bit of an optimist. So yeah, glass half full. Always happy.
Yes,
Always positive. Yeah.
So Alistair is one of our master trainers for Everyone Active. You can find you on Everyone Active on demand, or we can also locate you as one of our activity and wellbeing managers in
Bristol.
Woohoo! Shout out Team Bristol.
Come on, Team Bristol. So tell us a little bit about your role, Alistair. What do you do in terms of... Today we're going to be talking about working out with older people. So what's your role in Everyone Active and how does that link to what we're talking about today?
So I'm the activity and wellbeing manager in Bristol. So that covers a whole wide range of things, actually a bit of everything, from the exercise referral scheme, which a lot of our referrals tend to be older age groups, and a lot of the community work as well. And that does really tend to be a lot of older age groups as we work into the community, where people can access them much more easily than coming into our centres. We take our centres to them, if you like.
Yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely.
And what sort of qualifications have you got to be able to get involved in that kind of demographic of people?
So I have an exercise referral qualification, which is level 3. And then I've got a few level 4 qualifications on top of that. I've got a neurology, exercise with neuro conditions. I've got cancer rehab, diabetes, mental health, and there are others, which I don't have. But yeah, as it tends to be, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, as people get older, they tend to pick up different ailments and health conditions, so often more than one as well. So actually having a wide range of those qualifications to work with older adults is beneficial.
So when you joined Everyone Active, did you join as a personal trainer? So level 3 on the gym floor and then decided to specialise? What made that?
No, I went almost into the specialised bit originally, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so my story then, if you like, is so I was at university, just about to finish, week before my dissertation was due in.
And so what were you studying at university?
Sports science.
Okay.
Sports science, Swansea University. A week before my dissertation was due in, and like everything else, I left at the last minute, so still had plenty of work to do. And I had quite a nasty leg break playing football. So I ended up in hospital for a week with a skin graft needed and a
Goodness me.
rod through my leg, all sorts of stuff. Fortunately, they gave me an extension so I could get my work in on time. But then coming back to Bristol, I then wanted to do some rehab. So I went along to my local leisure centre. It wasn't an Everyone Active, it was a different centre. And I asked them if I could come in and use the centre as part of the rehab. And they said no. They said because of my injury, they wouldn't let me in. I thought, that can't be right. So I did a little digging around and found... Because, as most people probably come out of university, don't really know what they want to do. I knew I wanted to get into the sort of sports or fitness or rehab. My mum was a physio, so I got that kind of interest already.
Okay.
So I found that the exercise referral was a career option. So I went and did a bit of voluntary work with the South Gloucestershire exercise referral scheme, just to sort of have a bit of taster of that and aid with my own rehab as well. And then a job came up in Bristol once I had my own qualification, exercise referral at that time. And I was lucky enough to get it, and that was back in 2005. It was just when Everyone Active took over the Bristol contract. I've been there ever since. So I started off just as exercise referral instructor, just me and one other guy. And then in that time, it's grown massively. Now I've got a team of 8 instructors, and there's we get more than 1,000 referrals a year into the scheme. So
Wow.
So I'm now coordinating that, and from there.
Amazing.
And it is, we should say, definitely from a musculoskeletal point of view, the rehab and the recovery is such a huge part of movement and of wellness and of like everything from our brains through to how we're feeling and being around people. And the fact that you're absolutely qualified and you upskill other instructors or point them in the right directions for those courses, and that everyone active can now offer specific trainers that are qualified in that, because it's huge to a person's recovery.
Yeah, and it takes a long time as well. I mean, 6 months probably, my injury since to get back playing football again. And that's a long time. So we talk about mental health as well over that time where, you know, your mates are still playing everything else. But to have that support by getting in one of the exercise referral instructors to take you through that. Obviously, you need to make sure they're qualified enough, not always injury rehab qualified, so you get that elsewhere perhaps. But the next stage was be getting back into activity and using a gym again, knowing what's the right thing to do and feel confident about doing it. It takes some time.
And so why is it so important for older people to remain active? Can you talk to us a little bit about the sort of the different benefits of that?
So, this is what I love about my job as well. They get to work with a whole wide range of the population, right from, even from children now and with the families kind of exercise, right the way through to the other end of the scale, the older adults, so the whole, everybody, part of society. And to be active right the way through is really important, particularly as you get older. You have sarcopenia, so there's muscle loss, if you like, as you get older. That's a natural thing that happens. So to keep active all the time is really important for independence, quality of life. So the activities that we put on is to encourage everybody to come. So it doesn't matter whether they've never set foot in the gym before. We've had people either just turning up on the desk, reception desk, or people referred well into the 80s, 90s, coming along for the first time into a leisure centre, first time into a gym to become active. That's so inspiring when I see that.
And are those people being referred to by their GPs primarily?
Yeah, so through the GP, sometimes through the MSK physios as well. We get a lot of people who have joint replacements or due to have joint replacement, low back pain, that sort of thing, osteoporosis, risk of falls. So a wide range of older adults coming in with those conditions. So get referred from the GP, really easy to do through Everett Active website. We have our secure online referral form there, which goes straight to our team. Contact them, invite them in, and they come and start with us. And they get that support, which is a key as well.
And from somebody putting that first request in on our website, how quickly do they then get a phone call from one of the team usually? Is there sort of like a set time that you try and work to?
Yeah, we try and work to 5 days from a referral coming in. As soon as the referral comes in, they'll get a text message ping back to say we've received it. We'll be in touch. They know that it's in the process. And then we try and aim for 5 days to get that call and get them in then.
For that initial consultation. And then from there, you're looking at their specific requirements, are you? And then tailoring things for them to do? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's a 12-week program, initial 12-week program, which they'll get an induction session, which is 1 hour with instructors, or 45 minutes to an hour with an instructor, where they'll sit down, have a chat about what they'd like to do. I kind of give them a menu of activities to choose from. So it's not just about using the gym. Some people don't like the gym so much. I'm also included in that. I don't really like using the gym. I'm much rather do classes or do a sporting activity or a competition. So we understand that not everybody likes to do that. So we'll give them a menu of options. So it could be swimming, it could be group exercise, it could be out in the community, walking groups, walking sports, whatever they want to do. Something they're going to engage in and be interested in, keep coming back. So they have that on week 1, support them through the rest of the 12 weeks. So they'll meet again in week 6 and week 12. They get a discounted membership as well. So in Bristol and elsewhere across our contracts across the country, a 25% discount off the membership fee. So
wow, that's incredible.
For 6 months, and that helps just get them in, get them started, create a behavioural change, a habit, if you like, of coming and being more active. And then what we see is that people continue after that point. So beyond the 12 weeks, beyond that initial 6 months, they see the benefits in it. They've made friends, instructors, familiar faces there, but with other participants as well.
And I guess those regular check-ins with them is really important, especially in the early stages. Yeah. Do you have people that you feel you have people a lot more of a drop-off if you weren't going to have those check-ins? What's your experience of that?
Yeah, certainly. Having the regular contact, I think is really important for that motivation, give them some feedback on how they're doing. Somebody can help answer questions, give new exercises for them to do if it's in the gym, if they've got that tailor-made programming or other class options that might be for them as well. Over the 12 weeks, they're going to improve. So they need to give us new exercises to do. Or they might try something else if their fitness levels and confidence improving. Then send them to a body pump class or something,
Yeah, 100%. We should probably say as well, we have a senior membership, and the membership you're referring to is a GP referral.
A GP exercise
membership?
referral, that one, yes, yeah.
And that's through GP or musculoskeletal physio?
It can be any health professional.
Okay.
Yeah, so we work with our social prescribers in Bristol as well. But any of the hospital teams, can refer in. Really nice and easy for them to do.
So that 12-week plan, we can relate that to every single type of movement, really. It's 12 week. Anybody that follows classes or follows Les Mills, they'll know that every 12 weeks you'll get a new release. And if we're writing a personal training program, we will be writing probably with that 12 weeks involved. Why is that so important for somebody coming in, on an older adult coming in on a GP referral?
I should stress that it's not just older adults on GP referral, but yeah, we probably see people in their 50s to 60s and older, probably the largest population group there. But the 12 weeks being important because that's kind of the time it takes to form that new habit, change of becoming active. And I said most people will stay on beyond that, which is really important for us and also really important for the person, of course.
Can you talk specifically about, so we've got our demographic of older adults that are coming in. Some have been exercising their entire life and they're like, I don't want to be shoehorned into an older adults program. What's available to me? And also the fact that you can absolutely cater with somebody that's never used a fitness facility before. What would happen with those two? Because they're starting at two totally different points, but they might fall under the same demographic.
Yeah. That's what another thing why I work for everyone active, because literally that is for everyone. So whether, like you said, we've never set foot in the gym before or a leisure centre before, can be quite intimidating for some people. I mean, I've been in. And the great thing about working with everyone active is that you always got those smiling faces when you first come in. So the front house teams are fantastic. Wherever you go across the country, when I visited other sites like here in Bracknell or elsewhere, there's always a smiling face and a welcoming face as well. And that's really important. In terms of the exercise, we try and offer them everything. So we quite regularly will see people in their 70s, 80s, perhaps even older in some places, who are taking part in a Les Mills class or taking part in something a bit more energetic, something you wouldn't stereotypically think that older adults would be taking part in. And why not?
Absolutely.
Why not? The other end of the scale, you've got those people who are perhaps less active, more deconditioned or have more health conditions perhaps. Then we have seated exercise classes, something a bit more slower, sort of lower intensity. Again, very much welcoming for those groups as well. So there's always something for everyone.
The people that are new to the gym, can you just talk about, is it important that movement is introduced at any time during their lifespan, or what the benefits that will come from it if they've never been to a class or for a swim or in any form of exercise rather than just movement exercise? What are the benefits and why is it important?
Huge benefits, right? So as you know, there's no negative side effect to exercise, right? So we try and get them in to just do any kind of movement. So it may just be a little 20 minutes walking on a treadmill. Maybe less than that. Maybe just 5 minutes on the bike. That might be enough for someone to come in and do. That's their starting point and they progress on from there. But our bodies are designed to move. So that's really important that when they come in, they move. So we just get them to do something. Even if it's just small movements with some light hand weights or resistance bands. It could be something simple as that, and then progress them on slowly at their pace when they're ready.
So it's really tailored to the individual and to how they're progressing as well.
Yeah.
And what about things like in sort of introducing things like balance and flexibility and that kind of thing? Do you specifically look at improving on those things, or is it very much on an individual basis on that?
A bit of both, really. But yeah, certainly individual. I think that's important. So balance and flexibility, again, as you get older, that's important as well. And as reduction in bone density as well, so you're more likely to have fracture risk as well. So balance is being really important. So we do quite a few within Bristol seated exercise classes, some falls prevention stuff as well. We're working with Age UK in Bristol to do falls prevention type classes out in the community. So that's really important to get people confident to be outside, lower the risk of falls. There's a very high correlation of people who have a fall, have a hip fracture, end up in hospital. They don't always make it back home again and certainly back to activity. So we need to do as much as we can, and we're in a great place working with everyone active that we can help with that and help. So I guess
it's also working on their mental resilience a little bit as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I said the confidence and coming out and reducing sort of social isolation as well. And a great thing that we offer is that within the cafes, we have sort of warm spaces. So people need to come in and socialise. We try and put on across the country, we put sort of community cafes on in our centres, where they can come do a board game or come sit with somebody and have that sort of friendship. That's important as well. So sometimes it isn't just always about the exercise. It's about coming in and being social.
We were talking in the pillars of that we have, don't we, about the whole social community aspect of thing, which is so important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we've got a really popular chair yoga class here at Bracknell. I think you've got your side, haven't you, as
lovely
well?
Celia runs them. Celia.
We've got Hannah. Hi. Hi. And obviously you are very much involved in seated classes.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about those classes and how they're different.
Yeah, so one myself I run is a neuro-based class which has a lot of seated exercise in for MS, Parkinson's, stroke, brain injury, rehab, that sort of thing. But we're about to start one in a community which is a seated dance class.
Ooh.
Yeah, one of
Are
our
you
instructors-
leading that if people want to come along to
Not
it?
me.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
shame.
Dance isn't my thing. Yeah, Nikki's doing that. She's great.
Okay.
She's really good. Yeah. So.
That's amazing.
That is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I love that idea.
I'm here for that.
So we've got seated dance.
Yep. We do some falls prevention work as well, which is working with Age UK in the community. And we do some general seated exercise classes within our centres as well.
And I think we can find you on Everyone Active on Demand leading the seated exercise
Yes.
classes
Yeah.
on
I've
there.
done a
So
few
if
on
you
there.
if you're a member of Everyone Active, scroll down to the bottom of your app and you'll
Yeah.
see a little icon that says Everyone on Demand, and then you've got probably about 12 to 15 different classes
There's quite a few on there. Yeah.
Can you just talk through the format of a seated exercise class? Because my mum loves them.
Okay.
I never thought I'd get her doing any form of resistance.
So
She's always
cute.
been a Pilates. She's like ticking these boxes. That's her thing. If I've ever tried to get her in a gym, not a chance.
Yeah.
Ever tried to put up any form of weight other than maybe a water bottle or a resistance band, she's good, would have put it off. Seated exercise classes, she enjoys. And I think it is the fact that she doesn't have to think too much about a fall.
Yeah.
But can you just talk about, because you're a master trainer for them.
Yeah, so I mean, as you said, that's the great thing. You can do it seated, so you feel confident. You have no risk of if you're worried about falling at all. And you can do it with very limited equipment as well. You can get a whole body workout just from being pretty much sat in the chair the whole time. Our seated exercise classes will try and involve a bit of standing up out the chair.
Right.
Some instructors will do some work trying, if people are able to get down on the floor and get back up again as well, to sort of learn and teach those skills. But yeah, and resistance bands. I'm a big fan of resistance bands.
Yeah.
You can do almost anything
So
with them.
versatile.
Yeah, so we'll take them, a chair and resistance band. That's pretty much all you need. And then you can do anything there. So yeah, and you can do it at your own pace, say seated as well. So people will work, although we're working as a group in those classes, people work as individuals.
Yeah, nice.
So they want to sit and exercise out, not a problem. Have a little rest and then join in again when they can. Yeah, so
Can you do an example of an upper body movement and a lower body movement that somebody can do on the chair with or without a resistance band? Because we might have some listeners. Please make sure if you're doing this, you're in a safe space to do this that might want to try.
yeah, okay. So if you don't have a resistance band or even a bottle of water you could use as a hand weight, bottle of water in each hand, a chest press would be a good one to do. If you've got a band, wrap it around your back, under your arms, extend the arms forward, bring it back in again. Really nice and simple, but you got really good work there. What we try and do as well with the resistance work is to try and work along the length of the bone. So we're putting pressure, if you like,
Right,
and forces
okay.
into the length of the bone. So what that's doing is working on sort of bone density. So particularly as adults get older, reduce bone density,
Yeah.
particularly females as well, as they go through menopause and beyond. So trying to any force down the bone is really positive impact. So extending the band away, you're putting that force down the whole length of the arm.
Right.
Same thing with a sit to stand exercise, doing the same sort of thing. If you're unable to stand, you can still do a leg extension. So working on those legs.
What's a leg extension?
Leg extension. So you're sat in the chair and then just really raising the foot up so your leg is straight out in front of you, lower it back down to the floor again.
And that's working our quads, so predominantly
Yep.
top of our leg.
Yeah.
And what sort of proportion of people do you see that start off in one of your seated classes that are then progressing on to going to kind of the general activities within centres? Is that quite a high percentage?
Yeah, well, I say yes because some will do because they progress really well. They're very able to go on and do some other things.
Yeah.
Because the class is such great sort of community.
Social, yeah, that's what I think.
We
Yeah.
can't get rid of them, right? Which is great. It's not a problem because we can just put on another class and we're well prepared to do that if we need to. So, but yeah, people will progress on to do other things because they built that confidence, they built some strength, they'll
Yeah.
try something else. And often we'll hear stories of, I used to go swimming all the time, I used to do this, I used to do that. I'm like, okay, well, why not go back to do it again? Why not to go and try something that people do and they go, they love it.
And I guess also if they're talking about getting in the water, some of our, remember I had our podcast about good boosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of thing would be really incredible for them to get involved in as
Yeah,
well.
Definitely. I love the Good Boost program. We've got some successful ones in Bristol.
Have
Classes
you?
are full
Yeah.
every week, so we're looking to put more on again.
And have you got the water ones and the land ones as well, or are you just the water ones?
We run one land one. Most of them are water at the moment. We've got one land one, and we're working to progress that as well. to do some community, take the tablets out into community as well.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
But there is a podcast on Good Boost.
Good Boost,
but can
yeah.
you just say what is the Good Boost program and how are those classes run?
So the Good Boost, the Aqua one, is we've been running it for a number of years. It's using a tablet, so it's all technology based. Again, some people can be put off by that, particularly older adults, but we can reassure them that actually it's very easy to use. So we invite them in, and a lot of them come through our referral program, and then it's one of the options that we signpost them onto. So they come and meet the instructor. The initial setup is just answering some questions about their health conditions, pain levels and pain management, that sort of thing, what they can manage. And then the program uses its special magical technology to create some exercise for them to follow. So week 1, they'll do those. After the end of the session, they report their feeling, how the exercise went, how the pain levels are, if that's relevant. And then you'll then use its technology again to produce another series of exercises for the second week and so on. So it can progress quite nicely and really easy, really simple to do. Always instructor-led as well. So there's an instructor there, help out, pass the equipment, set tablets up and things like that as well.
And I think what I've found and this site here is that what's nice is that people have started in the Good Boost, and again, because they build that relationship with the instructor, they've got the confidence in that instructor saying, well, why don't you come and try this part of activity, and that kind of tends to work well as well.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of instructors will run different classes as well. So if they're used to working with that instructor, they're more...
It's having that trust, isn't it? I suppose, do you find you build such a close relationship with people that are coming to see you?
Yeah, that rapport, I think, is important as well, isn't it, to give people the motivation to come back again.
Yeah, absolutely. In the St Albans contract, we've got a amazing community kind of outreach session, and we do senior circuits, we do seated exercise classes. Can you just let our listeners know how they might find out about community classes, because they're not happening in our physical centres? Where are they?
So on the website, the Everyone Active website, there's a community page on there which describes how the community sessions work. So not all contracts yet have them across the company, but a lot of places do. So within Bristol, it's all on there. It tells you which site or location they're running across the city. You just follow that, click on there. It'll tell you what class is running in that centre as well. We try and put on a variety of activities across the city in the community venues. But a lot of them are sort of seated type exercise, older adults, because we know that those people might find it more difficult to get to venues, transport issues or whatever it might be, and cost as well. So community classes tend to be very cheap, which is great because that makes it more effective,
more accessible,
for those to come in.
Yeah, and we tend to do a tea and a biscuit after the class as well, or a water and a walk after the class, to really build that community. And we should say again that it is qualified instructors that have all been trained, that have gone out then to teach in the community centres. When people are coming along to classes, whether it is in a community outreach centre or indeed class, is there anything specific they need to be in mind in type of what they should be wearing, anything that they should bring with them, any prep they need to do beforehand?
Yeah, so in terms of what to wear, we always say just whatever you feel comfortable in, but you can move in as well. So no sort of tight clothing, jeans and things like that, quite restrictive. So anything that feel comfortable wearing, you don't have to wear Lycra, you don't have to wear the latest expensive bit of kit, you can wear whatever you want so that you feel comfortable wearing. Good pair of shoes also helps as well, so you've got good support on the footwear. Bring a bottle of water as well. Again, community venues might not always have water available.
Yeah, true.
So bring a bottle of water with them. Sometimes bring a snack as well to give this person living with diabetes. They've got to consider their blood sugars and things as well when out in the communities. But as you said, instructors are always qualified, always have a first aid qualification as well. We try and reduce as many barriers as possible. So that's what we say. Come and wear what you want to wear. Particularly first session, we'll often offer the first session for free as well. So come try it, see how you get on, see what you're wearing and see what everyone else is wearing. And if that's if you're concerned.
But that can be a really massive barrier for people, I think, especially if they're not used to being in that kind of environment, can't it? It's definitely a barrier.
You said a really interesting point earlier. I just want to go deeper into it. You said one of the moves that you practice is off a chair onto the floor, back up again. Is that for a neurological path pattern, just in case somebody does end up falling off a chair and can't get up?
That's it, So it's called backward chaining. So just where teaching people how to get back up again, using the chair they'll have near or something near them that they can use. So if it happens at home, if they're on their own, they have a way of getting up and then calling for help if they need it. So I think teaching those skills is really important. So it's another part we can put into our classes to help.
Again, with anybody at home that might not have been to a class, is there 3 exercises They could be fully able and capable of moving and everything, but they're just going, do you know what? I should potentially be aware that if I did have a fall, what are the moves that they could maybe start practicing now so we can get that neurological pattern and those muscles working?
So my favourite exercise is a simple sit to stand.
Okay.
Really simple. Sit in the chair, standing up, trying to stand up without use of your hands. So just trying to use the legs to stand up on themselves. Standing tall, so you've got tall open posture, and then slowly declining, controlled back into the seat again. And that's it. Just do a few of those while the adverts are on the TV or whatever. Good time to do it, or waiting for the kettle to boil.
Yeah.
A few of those. So it's really simple, it's really practical, something we do all day, every day, is up and down out of chair, in out of car, toilet, whatever. So that's a really nice, simple exercise to do. A resistance one as well. Something like a shoulder press, something like, or a frontal lateral raise, something like that to work on shoulders. I should considering bringing in anything above the head if you've got any heart conditions, high blood pressure, that sort of stuff. Again, it's a practical one. You might be reaching for something in the cupboard, that sort of thing, reaching for a light switch. What else?
What about something to sort of help their balance? Would you sort of recommend anything like that at all?
Turning can be an issue sometimes. So turning, so some simple exercise we do is you can be standing facing one direction, is to turn to the left. So you're lifting up your leg and turning out, so that opening up of the...
Okay. So again, getting that mobility
so trying to get almost a 90-degree step each way and then back again. So you get the mobility, you're getting that balance. As you turn in tight spaces, that kind of thing can help as well. But encouraging that knee lift as well can help that.
There we go, team. Top tips.
Nice tips there.
Yes, point 3. And we want to emphasise again, and you've said it before as well, that just because you're an older adult, there are absolutely specific classes.
Yeah.
But you could do any class. Please just make sure you've told your instructor or indeed your fitness motivator in the gym or somebody running the community class that this is your first class or you've not done this before, and we will coach you through it.
There's some brilliant examples across Everyone Active adults well into 80s and 90s who are doing some classes that you would think, I wouldn't even be brave enough to try that or fit enough to do that, and they're doing it, and they're such an inspiration. And there's some great spotlights I know that we've shared before on social medias and things.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, I've got some absolute crackers in my classes. I've got an 84-year-old that's still coming to Body Attack. It's unbelievable.
Isn't it brilliant?
Yeah.
We've got, I'm going to say she's coming up 80, Fortis sessions, full on, high intensity, 30 minutes. There she is, and you're like,
yeah.
I hope I'm able to do that when I reach that age. Right?
Exactly. That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. We should also mention as well, as we've got you here, we have got obviously classes specifically on the timetable for the membership base or out in the community, but there's also separate sessions that people can pay as you go for or book as courses. And I know that this is one of your faves, walk-in football.
Yeah.
Can you talk about those type, like sporting activities, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, walking sports is becoming massive now. I think that there was a gap. I think people played sport through their youth and competitively, and you get to a stage where you think, oh, my knees can't take it anymore on my back, and they stop playing, or other things, you starting families, careers, moving, whatever it might be. So to bring some element of that when they played when they're younger back into it, but also at a safe level that's suitable for everybody. So the walking sports is just grown massively. So,
and I think you touched on it earlier that you were saying that some people don't feel comfortable going into a gym environment because they enjoyed that competitive element of sport. So that kind of walking
sports perfect for that.
amazing.
Yeah, so certainly walking football is massive. Walking rugby, walking netball, or back to netball is another good one as well. So an example of that. Walking hockey. Any sport, stick walking in front of it, and there'll be a session there, right? So you'll find it somewhere, and that's a really good way again to be social, to be active, but a slightly slower pace perhaps than you used to do when you're younger. And that's the difficult thing actually, is to keep it at a slow pace. So people go there and they want to start running again.
Yes,
which is great, but
completely
within the rules.
We've also got the St Albans contract, and we've definitely got it at Harpenden. In fact, it's taken off in the whole of St Albans. Is senior pickleball.
Oh yes,
so it's the hand-eye coordination. It's so important to keep that motion going, and senior pickleball has just gone through the roof. It's so popular. So our lovely Moira, hi Moira, is our sports coach and our wellness manager there. Just put on, I think we've just announced another 2 extra classes on the timetable, because it's just
flown, has it?
Yeah, really good. I think we've got senior badminton as well.
Yes, we
And
those sports are great because when we talk about falls prevention, although you would consider that as falls prevention, but that lunging, that stepping forward, that moving the body forward, weighting everything to front foot and things like that is really important for that sort of falls prevention stuff. So it's happening already before they reach an age perhaps where it actually has become a concern. So
that's really good. And one of those, prevention is better than finding the cure. So
absolutely. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's been great
So
to be here. Thank you.
I know, it's amazing. Thank you so
Will you come
much.
back and see us again?
Yeah, anytime.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Team, Alistair, as we've said, is a master trainer and he is qualified to the max.
Yes.
So if you do have any questions regarding exercise for older adults, it might not be yourself, it might be a family member.
Yeah.
Neurological pathways, neurological conditions, what a seated exercise class might feel like, what a certain, I don't know, walking sport might look like, might feel like, please send your questions in and we will get them over to Alistair.
Yeah, and that email address is podcast@everyoneactive.com. And also don't forget, you can also catch Alistair on Everyone Active on demand. So click onto your app, flick down, and you can have a look and see the kind of things that people might be doing in a class situation.
Yep.
Yep. And if you are in the Bristol area, you are in very safe hands.
Very safe hands. Very lucky. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, lovely.
Team, as always, leave us some lovely reviews, give us your comments, thumbs up, share the love.
And thank you for listening. Team, we will see you again soon.
Take care. Bye.